Renfield is out playing in theaters now. Nicolas Cage plays Count Dracula. What else do you need to hear about that? Nicolas Cage is Count Dracula. Now we have our movie. Alright, so in all actuality, this movie is about Renfield, portrayed by Nicolas Hoult. He is the servant of Dracula, trying to get out from under Dracula's thumb. And in that way, this movie portrays their relationship as a codependent relationship, a toxic relationship, where Dracula is a gaslighter. He's a very unhealthy person to have in Renfield's life. Renfield is going to all of these meetings with other people that are dealing with codependent relationships. He's trying to get out of this relationship with Dracula. So that's really all I knew about this movie going in from the few trailers that I saw playing in the theaters. This movie hasn't really been on my radar until the last couple of days. So you'd think coming out of this movie, what I'd be saying is the best thing about this movie was Nicolas Cage as Dracula. But what I didn't know going into this movie was that this is pretty much an action comedy. And the action in this movie is the standout of the movie. Maybe it's in trailers somewhere, I just missed it, but I did not know there was going to be this much action in this movie, and the action is so much fun. The way that they shoot this action, it is super hyper realistic. Blood splatters, gore, blood gushing everywhere. It's all CGI. It's very cartoony looking, but the way that the action is helmed, the way that it's directed, the way that it's shot, you can see everything that's going on. It's very exciting. It's very funny. There's a lot of humor infused not only in this movie, but also into the action sequences, that it just works every time it's on screen. And Nicolas Hoult really sells these action sequences. Now, I'm going to talk about Nicolas Hoult for a minute before I get to Nicolas Cage, because make no mistake, this is Nicolas Hoult's movie. I went in for Nicolas Cage, but I stayed for Nicolas Hoult. As the titled character of Renfield, he gives the character such an empathetic spirit. The minute that you meet him in the movie, you know where his heart is at and you know what kind of person he is. And I thought Nicolas Hoult was really great in this movie. The way that you can just feel the desperation of wanting to get out of this situation, but also feeling like he's trapped, like he is enslaved to this guy. You feel it with the character and it makes you just like the character that much more. He was a very easy protagonist to root for because of the way that Nicolas Hoult was able to portray this guy on the screen. And yes, Nicolas Cage as Dracula is just as fun as you can imagine it being. Underneath all the makeup, and there's a lot of makeup and prosthetics that they put on Nicolas Cage in this movie, because throughout the movie, Dracula, he's got more damage, he's got to heal, and Nicolas Cage plays his performance of Dracula very different through each stage of his healing process underneath each different stage of makeup, and it works so well for the character. Now, Nicolas Cage as Dracula is actually not in this movie all that much. He kind of spontaneously pops up throughout the first two acts, and then he's there for the third act, but when he's there, you Nicolas Cage fans are going to get serviced. You're going to have a blast. So if I had some negatives that came along with Renfield, there is this kind of crime drug lord plot that kind of finds its way throughout the movie, where Awkwafina and Ben Schwartz characters kind of come into play. And for the majority, this subplot that kind of cuts its way through the entire length of the movie didn't really bother me all that much. Although by the third act, they try to bring the Dracula, the Renfield, and the crime lord drug plot all together. And I didn't feel like it was done the smoothest way. I didn't feel like it always clicked and worked together very well. There's also parts of this movie that pair up Awkwafina and Nicolas Hoult's characters together. And I didn't really feel like the dynamic that the characters were supposed to have was very clear. There are times where it seems like they're trying to play it romantic. Then there's times where it seems like they're just trying to play it as friends. But Nicolas Hoult and Awkwafina, I didn't really feel that much chemistry between the two during these scenes. For me, the relationship between the two, it didn't really gel all that well. It didn't really work that well for me. But guys, you know those movies that you just kind of love, even though you can see the glaring problems with them? For me, that's Renfield for this year. I loved this movie. I loved this movie so much more than I was expecting to, because I went in not really expecting much. I didn't even really want to see this movie. I was just kind of like, this is out, people are talking about it, I guess I should check it out. And then I ended up walking out with this like gigantic smile on my face. I had such a fun time. This is one of my favorite movie-going experiences of this year. If you love Nicolas Cage, if you love these gory and emphasis on the gory action sequences with just limbs getting cut off and heads exploding and bodies exploding, this is for you. This is a strong recommended movie. If this is your thing, go see it. You're gonna have a blast. Anyway, guys, those are all my thoughts and opinions on Renfield. Now I want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of Renfield? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions. I love to hear all of them. In case you didn't know, we have a subscriber goal on this channel. We want to hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year. If you like talking movies, we do that on here a lot. So consider hitting that subscribe button on the way out and hit the like button. It helps the video out as well. We'd love to have you join our community over here and talk movies with us. We do live shows on Wednesdays. It's a real fun time. We'd love to have you be a part of it. And with that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.